it is streaming for the boss man. They love the sinew.
Want to have your clip featured in the Skyrim Clip of the Week? Simply record the clip on your Xbox and then send it to me via message. My gamertag is iRyeni, that's IRYENI, and then you can message it to me over Xbox and I'll be able to view it. I look forward to seeing the clips that you guys send me. Now moving on to the video. Hey, what's up guys, it's Ryan, and welcome back to another episode of Modded Monday. We're on week number 193 now, guys. I've picked out 5 new mods for you guys to check out, and perhaps add them to your load order if you find them interesting. But like always, before we jump into them, I want to remind you guys that I'm partnered with Gamersups, which in my opinion is the best energy drink on the market. Now, I myself used to drink unhealthy gas station energy drinks, but switched whenever I heard about Gamersups being the healthier choice and alternative. Since then, I've been drinking it regularly, so I reached out and got in contact with them so that we can bring you guys the drink and you can try it free if you'd like. If you use my link in the code found in the description, which is RTD, you can get a 10% discount on all your drinks. And like always, if you do end up trying it, definitely let me know what you think about it in the comments down below. Now we can jump into this week's mods, and starting us off we have the Gemstone Replacers HD plus Falmer iGem mod. Now this is a merge of 2 mods from the Nexus, both of which have open permissions, and this replaces the gemstone models with new ones, along with new textures, and it also adds new models for a Lava's Token, Exquisite Sapphire, and the Marca de Bella. They've also redone the collision of the gems because even in the vanilla version of the game, whenever you'd put a gem on a table, there was still a little bit of space that you'd be able to see in between the table and the gem, so they've actually fixed that with these new remastered textures. Now as you can see as I'm showing you these new gemstones, they look absolutely amazing, and the fact that they fixed the collision, as well as adding new textures that are reflective and very unique looking, all of this coming in at 3.82 megabytes, it's just a perfect mod to add to any load order, especially if you're maybe a pirate or a treasure hunter. You can even add mods on top of this, such as the expanded gemstone mods, which adds 200 plus more gems on top of the vanilla gems to also find in your game. If you were to add a mod like that on top of this mod, you would just have a bunch of remastered vanilla gems and then a bunch more gems to find throughout your travels, so it would just make for a perfect treasure hunting load order, and that's why it's featured here at our number 5 spot. So I'd recommend downloading the Gemstone Replacers HD mod and starting a gemstone collection of your own. Coming in at our number 4 spot, we have Supernatural Strength. Now this is a mod that gives both werewolves and vampires increased strength and unarmed damage, even when they're not transformed. The mod page reads that it seemed really weird to me that as a supernatural being, your carry weight and physical attacks wouldn't increase when not transformed. Every depiction of werewolves and vampires I've ever seen or heard in games, movies, and stories describes these supernatural entities as gaining great physical strength, even while appearing human, albeit to a lesser degree than the transformed state, so that's what this mod aims to solve in a lore-friendly and balanced manner. Vampire strength will increase the longer they've gone without feeding and recede as they feed. Their unarmed damage increases based on the Fibonacci sequence because it kept the buff relatively low and scaled nicely. While their carry weight increases by 10 for every stage, frankly, vampire lords are very overpowered to begin with. Werewolves gain a massive increase to carry weight and unarmed damage as a flat-out buff because they do not need to feed and their powers are much more physical than vampires. These buffs will stack with all the other buffs that your character has applied. And whenever it comes to the different stats that you get alongside the stages of being a vampire or werewolf, whenever you're on stage 1 of being a vampire, you gain 20 plus carry weight and 2 unarmed damage. Whenever you get to stage 2, it's 30 carry weight and 3 unarmed damage. Stage 3 gives you 40 and 5 unarmed damage. And then stage 4 is 50 carry weight and 8 unarmed damage. And then if you decide to be a werewolf instead, you get 75 carry weight and an additional 25 unarmed damage. So no matter which one you choose to be, you still are going to be a very brutal beast. The mod author also states that they're going to be updating this mod in the future, so there may be more features alongside this in the future. So if you're someone who plays as a vampire or werewolf and you feel that your character, whenever not transformed, is still a little weak, then the Supernatural Strength is definitely a mod I'd recommend checking out because it makes you an absolute beast whether you are in beast form or not. Coming in at our number 3 spot, we have the Shoulderpacks mod. Now what this mod does is it adds new backpacks to the game that sit diagonally over one shoulder, and these backpacks function just like the backpacks added from the mod Campfire. There's 4 new variants. There's the Wolf backpack, the Snow, Fox, and Black backpack, and to obtain these backpacks you can craft them at the tanning rack or just find them around the world. These backpacks are crafted using the pelts and leather that you find throughout your travels and hunting, and I also like that you can find them around the world, such as on bandits and in bandit camps and even in chests. So if you're running a survival playthrough and you want something that's a little bit more lore friendly than a giant backpack mod that we covered in our survival list, then the Shoulderpacks is definitely a mod I'd recommend checking out because it just simply fits over your shoulder, and in my opinion I just feel it looks a lot better than those giant bulky backpacks. Each of these different shoulder packs give you an extra 50 in carry weight, so I don't think it's too overpowered at all, but I do think it's very helpful in any type of travel that you may go on. And on top of that, they also don't clip through the arrows that are on your back, especially if you have the belt fasten quivers mod, which is something that I've been looking for a very long time. A lot of backpack mods out there just completely ignore the belt fasten quivers mod, so that the quivers just clip through each other and it doesn't look right. But this mod actually got it right so they don't clip through each other, so you can have both your arrows and a backpack on at the same time, and it doesn't look weird. The only thing I wish they'd fix is allow for capes to be worn with the backpack, and then it would be an absolutely perfect backpack mod. But nonetheless, this is a very useful shoulder pack mod, so if you're looking to lug your items around in a different way, then the Shoulderpacks mod is definitely a mod I'd recommend checking out, and that's why it's featured here at a number 3 spot, so I'd recommend downloading it. Coming in at our number 2 spot, we have Isobel and the Adventurers Guild. This is a new guild that's been added to Skyrim, and the mod page reads that adventurers aren't exactly the renowned, treasure hunting sort like yourself. Most are tired, old, and scraping by just for a few rubies in an ancient tomb. Outside Markarth lies a place for all of them to gather and set out to make ends meet. But there's one adventurer that's a bit different than the others. You can join the Adventurers Guild and help the bright-eyed Isobel as you two set out in search of ancient artifacts, piled treasure, and explore forgotten ruins. You know the usual. The contents of this quest mod include a new quest line, of course, as well as a new follower. It's also fully voiced, it includes custom NPCs, unique items, and it's also recommended for people level 10 and up. Where to start the quest: once you start the game, you should get a miscellaneous quest telling you to join the Adventurers Guild. It points to a new guild hall outside of Markarth. Now, like I say for every quest mod that I cover in this Top 5 Mods of the Week series, I don't want to spoil the quest so much for you. I just went in and tested to make sure everything worked properly. But this is also where I ask if you guys want me to play through this quest mod for a separate video. You know, we're going through the Death Consumes All quest mod right now, and after that's over, I want to work on a new load order video. And once we're done with that, we can jump back into quest mods, and I can take a dive into the Adventurers Guild. But it's entirely up to you guys. If you would like to see a separate video on the Adventurers Guild, be sure to leave a like on this video and let me know in the comments down below. But nonetheless, the mod works perfectly, and I think that the quests are very unique, and especially the way that it makes you go to caves that you are already going to explore in the game just makes it so you could go to the Adventurers Guild first before you go exploring, and then you could just do quests as you do regular exploring. And I think that's very awesome because you truly are an adventurer whenever you start the game, and joining a guild that's based off of that is just something that fits perfectly into the game. So if you're looking to get some more coin in your travels and you want to find some more treasure, then the Adventurers Guild is definitely a mod I'd recommend checking out, and that's why it's featured here at our number 2 spot, so I'd recommend downloading it and becoming a true adventurer. Coming in at our number 1 spot, we have a huge expansive new lands mod called Wyrmstooth. Now the mod page reads that the East Empire Company commissions the Dragonborn to slay a dragon that's interrupting trade routes throughout Skyrim. But is the dragon stirring up trouble with a particular reason, and what sinister motive does it have for its actions? Wyrmstooth adds a new quest that takes the Dragonborn to the island of Wyrmstooth, situated north of Solitude. It's across from the Sea of Ghosts. Battle across new landscapes through new dungeons in this expansion-sized mod. Now the task may seem simple enough. Slay a dragon that's been stirring up some trouble, but things never go quite as easily. Wyrmstooth is a huge new land to explore, and you can delve into one of the largest dungeons in Tamriel with a cadre of mercenaries at your disposal. You also have a new castle player home, which you can purchase an imperial fort, make it your own, hire staff, and defend it from unwanted visitors. There's new weapons, shields, spells, and a new shout. And treasures found across the island reward those with a keen sense of exploration, and a keener ability to fend off danger lurking in the depths of many dungeons found across the island. Wyrmstooth will start when you reach level 10 and have finished the main quest Way of the Voice. Now with this new lands mod coming in at almost 250 megabytes, it would be impossible for me to showcase everything that this mod adds. But I'm sure you guys want to see the island that you're going to be exploring when you download this mod, so let's take a quick tour and see just the surface of Wyrmstooth. Now as you can see, this mod adds several hours of exploring and several new loot to find, as well as a brand new quest and a castle player home, so what more could you want from a mod like this? If you're sick of the same old Skyrim and you want to travel to a new area that has new dungeons to explore, new loot, new weapons, and more, then Wyrmstooth is definitely a perfect mod I'd recommend downloading, and that's why it's featured here at our #1 spot, so go check it out and let me know what you think of the new island of Wyrmstooth. So that's pretty much it for this week's episode of the top 5 Skyrim mods of the week. Hopefully you guys did enjoy, and if you did, I'd appreciate it if you left a like and subscribe if you're new. It really helps me out a lot. And if you have any suggestions for mods you'd like me to cover in future top 5 mod episodes, be sure to let me know in the comment section below, or you can follow me on Twitter. I'll be sure to leave my Twitter in the description, and you guys can follow me on there and leave me suggestions there as well. Special shout out to my Patreon supporters. Thank you guys so much for everything that you guys have done for me. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Hopefully you guys did enjoy, and I will talk to you guys later.